Welcome to the ultimate beginner's guide for Ashes of Creation. As you explore throughout Vera, you're going to be coming across a handful of unique beasts, monsters, and sometimes even dragons, and this guide is going to showcase a bunch of tips and tricks to make your life not only easier, but also hopefully more enjoyable. These tips and tricks are organized from most beginner friendly to a little bit more advanced. So if the first few tips are a little bit more of a duh situation for you, just stick around towards the second half of the video where there's going to be a little bit more advanced tips that should help you out even more. So let's go ahead and jump right into things. And we're going to start off with the very beginning, the character creation screen. I'm just speeding through this really quick because I want to showcase for all of you new beginners out there the importance of this starting zone. Now, when you start here, there's going to be a lot more people, but it's important to note that you can actually pick up free weapons right off the get-go. On the ground, you're going to see tons of weapons. You just move up to them and pick them up. And there's basically one of every type of weapon that you can just pick up and equip here. And you want to make sure you pick up your primary melee weapon and your ranged weapon, because these will essentially give you what you need to start not only leveling these weapons up, but also take down these low-level mobs a little bit easier. So again, you pick them up, and then when you go into your inventory, you can just right-click them, and then there you go, they're equipped, and you're ready to start fighting some mobs. I do want to kind of call out too a helpful tip that I thought was pretty helpful. In your settings under combat, if you select auto attack enabled, and then both after a melee attack and after a ranged ability, or really whatever you prefer, it just makes the overall PvE and leveling experience a lot easier. You click the button once and then it's just going to keep going. It just makes leveling a lot easier. You don't have to keep touching and clicking that button. I thought it was helpful, so hopefully you do as well. As you progress your character, you're going to unlock skill points. So it's very, very important that after you level up, you actually open this window and select the next skill. I highly recommend that you focus on unlocking new skills and then eventually upgrading those skills for additional passives or effects, just because if you have more skills, you likely will have more opportunities to make your battling experience a little bit easier. Also, you don't only have skill points here, but every single weapon has its own unique passive skill tree. So as you level up your weapon, make sure you do that. And you also can use skills in your stamina section. That just makes your life a little bit easier with overall stamina management as well. Since we're here, there is a skill book section where you can basically click and drag certain skills, including fishing. A lot of people ask me how exactly they can even fish. Just click and drag it over in your interface and then click on that button, and then you'll start fishing in front of some water. One thing that you will quickly notice is that as you defeat mobs, you're going to be picking up items known as glint. For example, this is dull glint. This is the most common glint that you'll be finding. And this is essentially kind of like the idea of gold in this game. You will not directly get gold by killing mobs, but you will be getting this glint. I highly recommend that you save this glint in your storage over time, because you're going to be using this to pick up cargo, to pack up your caravans, to turn that glint into even more gold. However, if you are desperately needing some gold and just need a quick pick-me-up, you can go to any NPC vendor and sell it for a quick buck. Real quick, you can see that this common dull glint is 10 copper each. If you have 10 of those, you can make it into a dim glint, which is 1 silver each. Get 10 of those, and you can turn it into one of these rare blue glowing glints, which is 10 silver each. Same situation, get 10 of those, and you can get them into a bright glint, which is 1 gold each. And then there's even another type of rarity form of glint where it kind of just keeps going up and up in value. But again, I highly recommend you just hang on to this rare glint, because as you get a higher level, you'll be a little bit safer and can actually run caravans and turn this glint into even more gold rather than just quickly selling it to an NPC. Next up, let's talk about mounts. So in this game, I highly recommend that you actually have a total of 3 mounts eventually. It's okay if you start out with 1, but your life is going to be a lot easier if you actually pick up 3. The reason you want a total of 3 is because as you travel across the land of Vera, there's a very good chance that your mount is going to just get hit by random mobs or sometimes even other players. I'm going to go ahead and kill my first mount just to kind of display this, but essentially if your mount dies, you're kind of out of luck for upwards of 10 minutes until it just comes back to life. So as we can see, my first mount is dead. If I'm trying to meet up with friends, I'm basically out of luck if that was my only mount and I have to travel by foot, which just makes the overall traveling experience a lot longer. You can see here, I try to summon it. I have to wait for 9 more minutes. So I'm just basically going as fast as possible, but it's not fast. However, if I have a second mount, I can just quickly summon it, jump on it, and continue on my way. So long story short, get 2 land mounts that are pretty fast and you will save tons and tons of time. I know I did over my hundreds of hours of playing this game simply by having 2 land mounts. However, when it comes to a third mount, I highly suggest getting a water mount that can breathe underwater. And the reason behind that is if you do that, you can travel in the sea much quicker, and you can also explore without having to worry about drowning or running out of breath underwater. This is only possible through water mounts. As you can see, I'm on my horse right now. I'm struggling to breathe. My health is going down. If I stay underwater with this, I'm going to die. Hey, since I potentially just saved your life, consider hitting that like and subscribe button for more Ashes of Creation tips. Next up, this tip is especially helpful if you're low leveled, but every time you visit a node, check out the commission boards and accept any of these mini quests that you come across that you think you'll be able to pick up as you head back out and explore the world. These quests essentially provide you with a small XP boost as well as some glint, so you might as well pick them up along the way if you think you'll actually come across them. Even if you don't, you can simply just abandon these quests, so there's really no harm in claiming these, and there's lots of different types. You could be asked to kill a certain type of mob, or harvest and gather a certain type of resource, but more specifically, there's a specific commission board right at the top of, typically the top of the hill for every single node, which I'll show you on the screen right now, that provides you a little bit more rewards. And I always like going in here and just checking out if there's any quests to claim, simply because these quests that you claim from this commission board here, right there, provide not only experience in Glint, but also some citizen tickets, which you can utilize by talking to those NPCs right there on the right for a few more goodies that could potentially enhance your overall character, get you some more gear, or even buy some resources to sell to other players for some more gold. So again, you might as well pick these up. It's just helpful and could turn into some experience, glint, and gold in the long run. Next up, when it comes to PvP in this game, you will 100% come across it, whether you like it or not. Whether or not you engage with it, though, is completely up to you. If you see someone that is flagged as purple, that essentially means you can attack them and not have any complete negative effects towards you other than flagging as well. However, it's important to note that if you find ashes on the ground, it means that someone died, and if you interact with it, you can see who died and what type of loot they have. If you loot them and loot their dead bodies, essentially, you will be flagged purple, which essentially means that other players can attack you without any real consequences. So this guy sees I'm flagged, and there you go, he starts attacking me. Once he starts attacking me, he also gets flagged, so I can fight back and potentially take him down and pick up even more loot if I feel confident. It's important to note too, though, that if I am not flagged and someone attacks me and I simply do not fight back, that individual will get corrupted and their name will be red, and there's major consequences there. If they get killed, they're going to lose some of their equipped items, which nobody wants. So long story short, if you don't want to PvP in this game, don't loot dead bodies and don't fight back if someone tries to fight you, because they'll likely stop attacking you because they do not want to go corrupted. Next up, it's important to note that there is a marketplace at every single node in the game, which allows you to post up to 20 items for sale. If you're looking for a specific item, I highly recommend you search by item like you see on the screen right there. Type in what you're looking for example, iron, and then look for the exact type of quality that you want that item in. For example, I also want to kind of call out how exactly you sell items. So let's say I want to sell a legendary Weeping Willow item. I'm going to go ahead and post the price per unit, but keep in mind that the actual price that'll be listed is 7 gold and 70 silver. And that's because of the 10% no tax that you'll see, which kind of hurts not only you, but also the buyer. So it's not optimal to sell high quality items through the marketplace, but if you know you're going to be offline for a long period of time, maybe just post it and see what happens. So just to kind of give you a closer look too, I'm going to go ahead and search Weeping and then Legendary, and I can just see all the other postings. It looks like other people posted it for 7 gold, and then it picked up that no tax as well. So the cheapest option right now is 7 gold and 70 silver. However, if you can just post it in global chat to try to find a buyer, that is the most optimal way. It's a win-win for both you, the seller, and also the buyer, because it'll just be a little bit less gold. So you go ahead and just trade them. Once you actually find a legitimate buyer, they'll give you the gold, you trade it, easy peasy. Make sure you do this in a town though, just for your own safety, so you don't get ganked or attacked during the trade. Next up, I want to talk about named mobs. So as you level up and explore the world of Vera, you're going to find unique mobs that have one-of-a-kind names that typically are 2 or 3 star mobs. I'm going to show an example of one right here. Typically they move around as well. Here we go, the Everlasting Sower. Let's use this for an example. I'm going to hit him and pull him out here and just speed things up and actually take him down. These named mobs typically always have a unique item, whether it's like a helmet or a weapon, where they drop the item itself, the crafting material, and the recipe. However, it could be a bit confusing and overwhelming to figure out which named mobs you should actually kill, what weapons are the best ones for you to focus on, and even what kind of items you can get if you do want to take down one of these named mobs. Let me introduce you all to a very, very helpful tool known as Ash's Codex. If you go to ashescodex.com, you're going to be able to search the specific name of the enemy you're looking at, or even an item you're trying to get, and everything's going to be right there for you. You scroll down and look at the drop section. It even gives you a map as well of where you can find that named mob. If you scroll towards the end, you're going to find the unique items I was just talking about. So right there, we've got the crafting material, the item itself that it drops, which is a necklace, and then also the recipe. You can also get a handful of other items, but again, long story short, Ash's Codex is a great resource for you to take a look at, especially if you're a beginner, because there's tons of guides. And one of the things I like to do even is take a look at every type of weapon and armor slot that I'm going after, and using these search filters to figure out, okay, for example, if I'm level 20 and I want to find the item that gives me the most dexterity, I can use these filters and get a look at every single item that exists in the game today, focus on which one I'm going after, and do what I have to do to actually get it equipped to my character. So again, super, super helpful. Last but certainly not least, if you guys see these Embersprings on the map, it's 100% worth just walking up to it and activating it just to like have it on your map. Again, you don't have to set it to your home point at all, but just get close enough where it has a little pop-up on your map saying, okay, you've identified this Emberspring. If you die somewhere on the map, you're going to get automatically teleported, or at least have the option to teleport to the closest Emberspring. So again, the more Embersprings you have, the better, because it's just going to make your life a lot easier in case you die. And that covers it. I hope you guys found this guide helpful. Again, this is more so focused for you guys out there that may be beginners or may have not even started playing Ashes of Creation yet, but plan to. It's just a helpful laundry list, essentially, of things that will make your life a lot easier and your overall experience better. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe, because I've got more content coming your way, including a more advanced guide that should be coming in the next few weeks. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.